Welcome to Stories I Didn't Tell Last Sunday. Hi, I'm your host and storyteller, Doug McAllister, and this is the weekly podcast from Journey Fellowship Church. We are jf.church on the web, or you can download the Journey app. Go to your app store and type in Journey Fellowship Church in your search bar and download the app with our compliments. Well, we've been telling Christmas stories all month long, and today I wanted to tell you a Christmas story that happened to me. This goes back about 20 years. Miss Rachel and I had the great privilege to raise 5 kids, and this was at a time in our life when all 5 of our kids were still home. Today, they're all grown. They're adults. 4 of them are married, and our 5th is in college, so we are empty nesters. I was thinking the other day about my love to shop on Christmas Eve. I don't know if you like this or not, but I do. I like the crowd and the hustle and the bustle and the noise of Christmas Eve shopping. And 20 years ago, I went out on a Christmas Eve shopping trip. Now, Miss Rachel does not like crowds and last minute things, and especially the hustle and bustle of Christmas shopping. So I usually save a few gifts to get on Christmas Eve day just so that I can experience the chaos of Christmas Eve. And that Christmas, about 20 years ago, I took 2 of our little kids with me. 2 of the 5 wanted to go on the adventure. So we went out on Christmas Eve to shop for some last minute gifts. And that's where the story takes place. It never fails that great stories always come out of chaos. At least that's the experience in my life. When things are unpredictable, sometimes the best stories happen, and that's the one I want to tell you about today. So, Christmas Eve, 20 years ago, me and 2 of my little kids head out shopping on Christmas Eve night. We pull into the parking lot of this giant box store, and every parking space is full. Out to the road. There's not a single space left. It is the height of Christmas Eve shopping. Everybody who can is parked already, and there are many of us circling the parking lot looking for an empty space or waiting for somebody to leave. And then it occurred to me, maybe I'll go park along the side of the building, or maybe toward the back of the building where probably no one has looked. So I slowly rolled down the side of the building looking for a slot. And I noticed that there was a lady in her car about to back up and leave. And I thought, this is perfect. Perfect timing. I'll go to the end of that side street, turn around, and when I get back, she will be pulling out, and I'll just pull right into where she is. And it turned out that the timing was incredible. I made it to the end of that little street. I made a U-turn and came back slowly to that space that was about to open. And I noticed that she just put her reverse lights on. She was in reverse. Her backup lights were on, and she was pulling out of the space. So I waited patiently, and I gave her enough room so that she can back up and leave safely. And then I can pull right into where she left, go inside, and finish our Christmas shopping. Well, she slowly backed out into the parking lot and slowly put it in drive and began to exit. And I was pulling slowly, waiting for her to clear. And then I noticed straight ahead that there was a car that was barreling toward the parking space. Now, I was obviously waiting for it, and I was only a few feet from it, and he was approaching at a high rate of speed, I guess with the intent of beating me to the space. Well, I had an easy head start, and as soon as she cleared the parking spot, I pulled into it and put it in park. And about that time, that car that was speeding toward me stopped right behind me. Applied the brakes, and I could tell that this was not going to be a good ending. So I sat there thinking, what should I do? I'm thinking, well, let me give that guy a few moments. Maybe he'll pull away. Maybe he'll go down to the end and turn around like I did, but he didn't. I could hear after I turned off my engine, he put his vehicle in park and he was blocking me. He was parked right behind us. And there was no way that I could back out and leave and give him the spot. And there was no way to get to the store without walking right beside his car. So I sat there thinking, what should I do? You know, it's Christmas. It's the season of joy and giving and loving your fellow man. So I did what every red-blooded American would do. I prepared for a conflict. I thought to myself, I have two little kids in the car, so I told them, I turned around and I said, everybody stay in the car. Daddy's going to go out and talk to the nice man behind us. So I turned to get out of the car, and when I did, I made eye contact with this guy. I'm thinking, this is going to be an interesting face-to-face conversation. Now, I don't think that I would do this today. Because now everybody is, armed. Everybody's got a concealed weapon or at least potentially. And I don't know if I'd be quite as brave today as I was 20 years ago. Then I was 38. Today I'm 58. So I probably wouldn't be quite as brave. But I got out. And I could almost hear the Clint Eastwood Western music playing in my ears. I stood up tall. I took one step and then another, making eye contact with the driver, and he was looking back at me like I had stolen something from him. I got up close to the end of my vehicle where he was parked, and he put down his window. And I'm thinking, okay, here we go. And I said simply something like this: hey man, sorry, I was already waiting for this spot. Silence. He didn't say a word, he just glared. And I'm thinking, oh man, if he gets out, I'm going to have to fight this guy in the parking lot. At that moment, unexpectedly, he put his window back up and pulled away. Unfortunately, he was pulling away to the end of a dead-end street, which meant he was going to come right back by me in a few seconds. So I watched him. He got to the end. He made a U-turn, and he slowly came back toward me. When he got to me, I waved at him and said, Merry Christmas. And he waved at me and didn't say Merry Christmas. Wasn't quite as polite, but he drove off. And I was thanking the Lord that it didn't turn into a Christmas battle in the parking lot. But he drove on out into the parking lot looking for a spot. I then got my two kids out and we went in to shop. But it was just one of those things that happens in life that you didn't plan. You went out for a shopping trip, but it almost turned into a conflict. But it just reminds us that's how life is. In the middle of the chaos that we call life, often things happen that we didn't anticipate or plan for. And we have to make a decision on how we're going to respond. Probably had he not blocked me in, I would have offered to give him the spot. But he challenged me by putting his car in park right behind me, not letting me move. And he only left me with one option, and that was to have a face-to-face conversation. And those conversations are hard, especially when someone's offended or someone feels they've been taken advantage of or cheated out of what was rightfully theirs. But sometimes the best way that we can handle those situations is just to make eye contact and just state the truth in love. Hey, I was here waiting for this spot, and before I could offer him, he pulled away before I could give him the spot. Maybe you're facing something like that today in the middle of your chaos. You're blocked in, you're right, but yet you're wrong and you don't know what to do. Pray, ask God for directions, speak the truth in love, make a good decision. Don't respond in anger, and don't overreact in your nervousness, but try to stand your ground, but also be humble and speak the truth in love. Well, that's a story I didn't get to tell last Sunday, Christmas shopping trip from 20 years ago. And I'm going back. Now, we're only a few days from Christmas Eve, so I'm going to be going back this year again, probably by myself because all of my kids are grown. And Miss Rachel doesn't like Christmas Eve shopping, but I'm going back again. I just love the noise and the hustle and bustle and the decorations and the light and the chaos of last minute shopping. So from all of us here at Journey, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and may your chaos find peace in this season when we celebrate the birth of the Savior. I'm Doug McAllister on behalf of Journey Fellowship Church, and this is Stories I Didn't Tell Last Sunday. You can check out our podcast every week. We produce a brand new story that I didn't tell last Sunday. You can go back and watch the episode. This is episode 31. So there are many other episodes you may want to go back and catch up on, and look forward to joining with you again every Wednesday as we tell stories I didn't tell last Sunday. God bless you.